Hey Elena, I'm so sorry to message you like this out of the blue. It's about the wedding that's happening in 3 days. I don't think I'll be able to make it anymore.
Wait, what? You can't come? Are you serious? What happened?
Yeah, yesterday I suddenly had this horrible pain in my lower abdomen. It was so bad I couldn't even stand up. I ended up rushing to the ER and they told me it was acute appendicitis.
Oh my god, appendicitis? Are you okay?
I had to have emergency surgery right away. The surgery itself went fine, thankfully, but I've been admitted to the hospital since then. The doctor said I won't be discharged until the actual day of the wedding, and even after that, I'm under strict orders to rest and to recover. It's killing me, honestly. I was really looking forward to it, especially since it's my brother's big day, but I can't risk pushing myself and ending up collapsing in the middle of the ceremony. That would just ruin everything for everyone.
Yeah, that would definitely be a problem. It's disappointing, but your health comes first. We wouldn't want you passing out at the venue.
Thanks for understanding. I'm planning to let my brother know later, but since I heard you were in charge of managing the guest list and logistics, I wanted to tell you first so you can adjust the head count. I feel terrible.
I'm thinking maybe you should give her exactly what she asked for. Didn't she say she expected you to crawl there if you have to? Well then crawl in! Show up fully wrapped in medical gear! Let her see what that actually looks like! Give her a taste of her own words! You in?
You know what? I could totally do that. Don't underestimate me. Still, just to be safe, I'll double check with my doctor and make sure it's okay to even leave the hospital. I want to make sure I don't end up actually hurting myself.
That's all you're worried about? So you're basically on board with this? You're just looking for medical clearance to pull it off? You're more fired up than I thought. Damn.
them even though you were hospitalized. The way they all looked at me, cold, judgmental, and horrified. Even my own brothers looked like they didn't recognize me.
Well, we finally met your goal then. You were the center of attention. Mission accomplished. You were the one who claimed I was faking, remember? So, all we did was show some proof. My hospital bracelet, the discharge slip, the IV mark on my arm. People needed context. You didn't want them hearing only my version of things, right?
That wasn't proof. That was sabotage. They made me look like a complete villain. And your smug voiceover didn't help, talking about military loyalty and honoring commands even when they're unreasonable.
I didn't do the voiceover. Steven did. And he said everything from the heart. But you know what really stuck with people? The moment when he said, some siblings care more about appearances than actual love, and some forced you to crawl to their wedding to keep up that image. I've never heard a room go that silent before.
I can't believe this! Why is this happening to me? Why do I have to be the villain when this was supposed to be my perfect day? This is all your fault, and Steven's. He's your brother, right? Has he completely lost it too? What kind of family pulls this stunt at a wedding?
Actually, Steven's just fine. He's been more than reasonable. He told me exactly why he helped organize that presentation. He was tired of watching you walk all over people, especially your brothers. He said, and I quote, "It's wild how two youngest siblings can be raised so differently. One throws tantrums when she doesn't get her way, the other crawls across a ballroom just to avoid ruining a wedding."
I am a kind sister too! I am kind! You don't know anything about me!
A kind sister? Really? You mean the kind who demands expensive gifts from her 4 older brothers at every birthday and holiday? Who threatens to cry and lock herself in a room if they say no? Who once threw a shoe at her brother's fiancé because the engagement ring wasn't big enough? Is that your definition of kindness?
That was years ago! Besides, that's just sibling stuff. A little spoiled behavior is normal. It's a younger sister's privilege.
There is a difference between leaning on your family and manipulating them, Elena. That privilege you talk about isn't a free pass to steamroll over everyone's feelings. Martin said it best.
But I swear, I've learned from this. I know what I did was awful. I get it now. Just tell me how I can make things right. What do I have to do for you to forgive me?
That's not how this works, Elena. Forgiveness isn't something you earn through begging. You need to understand what you did, not just to me, but to Martin and your brothers, and to your parents. You need to sit with that and take responsibility on your own. No one else can give you a checklist to fix this. And honestly, if you're still asking me what to do, it sounds like you haven't done any real reflection.
Please, I'm falling apart. Martin's suing me for emotional damages. I don't know what to do.
Then you pay the settlement. That's the cost of hurting someone deeply enough that they have to protect themselves with legal action. And last I heard, you still had a job, right?
Not anymore. I got demoted. The people from work were at the wedding. They saw everything. The rumors spread, and suddenly nobody wanted to associate with me. Even my supervisor said I was damaging the company's image. They're transferring me out to a small rural office in the middle of nowhere. I've never even lived alone before. I don't know how to cook, clean, anything. I'm completely alone. I don't know how to survive like this. Please, please forgive me. I can't do this anymore.
So